Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of Good Golly Miss Holley's Whatnot Q&As. We have Chelseasthreads today, who also sells hand-picked designer and high-end pieces. So it'll be really interesting to get her on. So I'm just going to get her on. Yeah, let's do it. Where is she? Where are you, Chelsea? There we go. Invite to co-host. Just to let you know, guys, please follow Chelsea. That is important for these chats that we do follow each other. Hi, Chelsea.
Hi.
No, I think this is the first time we've actually even spoken on video to
I
each
know. I've just been sat there thinking, oh my god, I'm so nervous.
other. That's what Connor said last week. He said he was
waiting for you, like, all right, I'm ready,
yeah.
I'm ready.
So yeah, we'll just chat. Like last week, if you just tell us about your journey into reselling and why you became a reseller, and then we'll do the questions then.
Yeah, so my journey in reselling in general. So I did start on other platforms. Hi everybody. In I want to say, so when the V app first started, when no one really knew about it, I started on there really, selling the kids' clothes and
Because how many children do you have?
Three.
Three.
Three kids. So selling the kids' clothes, things like that. So that's how it started. And then I had children, the two youngest, and I am a nurse as well. So at the time when I was doing maternity leave, I wanted to do something a bit different. So I ended up getting into like reselling, watching people. I started on like Instagram. Used to watch other people inspired me so much to do it, and I've always been good. I'm jumping back now, this is what I do. So I've always been like really passionate about like fashion. So even from a very young child, I love clothes, I love styling it, I love dressing them. I'm just passionate about like the materials and what they look like. And when I was like very young, I used to cut out of magazines. I used to draw my own designs. My auntie was a fashion designer, and I looked up to her as well. She no longer does that now, but that's what she was doing, and that's something that I've always wanted to do. But unfortunately, I was told that I can't. You can't do that, Chelsea. The industry's too hard. So I just buy family members or whatever. So I just carried on and never did it. But then as I got older, and then I'm blabbing on here. I do a lot.
No, don't, you're not blabbing on. Just go for it. That's the best way to do it.
So yeah, and then I just like were watching people, and like during COVID time, like selling clothes, and I used to just watch people's lives and see what they do and the clothes, and I used to love it. Like just watching them, what they'd have, and learning about different brands and different materials and where they come from. And I'm really passionate about it, where I look into like deep into the brands, deep into fashion, and what happens to fast fashion, what happens to designer fashion, and I've got books and everything. Like I'm just like really passionate about it. But then I came across Whatnot then. I seen it advertised. I know it's relatively new for the UK. And it was my friend Gemma, actually, who I seen it off. So Gems Pre-Love Gems. And she had a show, and I also seen it on seen her like advertising for a show. And then the first person I followed Becky Bazaar, actually, and I used to watch her a lot. And then different influences and stuff like that. And she was the person who I got my code off, actually, when I first started.
Was it?
Yeah, Becky Bazaar.
Oh, that's interesting.
I clicked on it and I thought, oh yeah, we're gonna see, we're gonna click on this, see what it is. And I was watching it, and and then obviously going back to Gemma and seeing her do a show, and I asked a couple of questions, and I just kept watching, getting involved, because I think that's a good thing, especially if you
100%.
do it. Always get involved in the chat, be present, being consistent and present is really key. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a go at this. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do Whatnot.
And you've smashed it.
Yeah, so I started off, I remember my first show, I was so nervous and I was shaking and quivering, and I was like, oh my God. And, you know, I'm not a very confident person talking in front of people. And I just thought, I can't do it. There's going to be all these people watching me. Like, but then, hi Kelly, how are you? There's all these people watching me, and I had to come to myself in my head and think, right, it's just me talking to me, like in a
Yeah, that's all it is, isn't it?
like there are people watching, but forget about the people. Like it's just me watching me. So, and then after that, like I loved it, and then I loved getting involved in people's shows, and then there was like you was one of my first shows that I watched as well. There's a few people who I used to watch. Stacey was one of them as well. Lawson's Flift, who used to watch as well.
Yeah,
As
if
one of my
anybody
first ones.
in the chat wants to tag the people we're talking about, that would be great, because then
Yeah.
we can kind of
If
follow
he
them.
was like a late nighter person, because I don't sleep very well, so I stay up pretty late. So I used to like just I used to stay. I used to just be there, and even if I didn't buy anything, it's just like talking in the chat and you know just get your name out there, get myself known. Yeah, so then it just progressed, and then I think I'd started watching Helen as well.
Yeah.
And then you start watching more and more, and people said, oh, you know, go and watch Where Dead Stock, they do this, you know, go and watch Luxury Pickers, they do that, go and watch Chatty Pete and all that. And you watch all the bigger sellers, like the smaller sellers. And yeah, and then as time grows, you know, I've changed what I do. And, you know, I can't believe, you know, I'm only a small little seller, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
mid.
only small
Stop.
fry.
You're like me. You're like me. I think we're like mid. We're mid level, and we need to
Yeah.
like. I think I was talking to Bethany from Luxury Pickers on the weekend,
Yeah.
and she was saying that the mid range, like us guys, obviously Luxury Pickers are here, like we're like here. It is really difficult for us because people forget about us, because it's like the bigger people want to support the little people.
Yeah.
And then the little people want to raid into the bigger people, which I get, like we talked about
Yeah.
that last week. And sometimes we get like overlooked, I think, as the middle band. I don't know if you agree with that sometimes, I think. But
yes, I think that's true sometimes, but to try and it's again about being in other people's shows, get your name
100%.
known, talk
Yeah.
to people, communicating, even if you're buying a few things. Yeah, just little things like that. You know, making sure like you're following people. Like I know I have quite a few followers, but you get so overwhelming that we don't get a chance to follow people back as well. So I am sorry about that if I don't. And I try to follow back as many people as I can, but sometimes it can be such an influx. Just being consistent, and eventually it doesn't mean that one day we can't be a bigger person, you know. But I quite like where I am at the moment.
Yeah, no, definitely. You really smashed it.
I don't want to be overwhelm myself too much, you know.
No, so Christy and I, CHJ, someone can tag her, we're talking on the phone yesterday. We were talking about what we want from Whatnot. What do you, I'll say what we said in a second, but what do you want from Whatnot?
Me.
Yeah, what is your aim for Whatnot for you?
I don't know how to answer that. I feel like I don't know.
Like, so for example, Christy and I were saying we want to just be self-sufficient, really. We want it to be our job and be able to pay for everything, and that's that. Whereas some people want to start like big businesses from it, they want to grow and be massive, but I'm like you, I don't really want to overwhelm myself with that level.
I've got like big ambitions, but I certain things in my life stop me back. I wish I could do more, and I try my best, you know. And even what I do now, like, really takes it out of me. Especially with the kids and stuff like that, and with my own things. Yeah, I would like it. I would like to be sustainable so that I can, you know, be comfortable, to be able to enjoy what I'm doing, and to be able to do a job that I enjoy, and to be able to provide for my family as well, basically.
Yeah.
And just to be because there's nothing worse than being in a job that you hate, you know, and really stressful. And reselling is stressful. Like,
Oh,
it's
it is.
harder than it looks. Like, some people think that it's really easy, and it's seriously not. You know, but I would like my own dream. I would like my own little business, like little, I don't know, sustainable like boutique of my own. I'd love to do
Oh,
that.
love, that'd be great. So
My
how do you find working around the kids? How do you find that? What is like your best? Do you have to go on late at night? Do you find that helps? What kind of works for you?
So for me, it's, I have to fit it round who can look after the kids, because I can't. I hands up to people who can do shows with the kids, but I just can't. I can't focus on doing that. And the kids, and you know, they're too young as well. I've got three, so one's 13, one's 3, one's 1. And I have to work around who can look after the kids. But late at night is better because the kids are in bed, rather than the daytime for me. And then, like I said in my last thing as well, it's like it does, you know, it drains me, but I love it though at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like last night, I was up till like nearly 2, 3 in the morning packing the parcels, because that's the only time I can do it. And I'm very, like, you know, perfectionist with my parcels, because I think customer service, you know, and my brand Chelseasthreads, I want it to be the best, you know. And I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
perfect. Like, this thing's wrong, but if
Oh,
there
you're
is
gonna
things
miss
wrong,
things. We're human. We're
yeah,
human at the end
if
of the
there's
day.
something wrong, then we can, you know, I'll sort it out ASAP, and it's how it's dealt with. Do you know?
100%, I agree with
I
that.
do like in the chat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the chat in a second.
Oh right, okay.
I think I remember when I first got a parcel off you, Chels, and you had your own little label attached to it, and it was beautifully packed. And I think that's a really important thing. So I always put those thank you cards in mine with my logo on and kind of all the details. And I think that really helps. Having a brand image helps as well. If you are doing this full time, that is important, I think. And I think you're able to grow the brand Chelseasthreads, not just yourself.
Yeah, I would have liked to carry on with that kind of rapping, but then obviously the demand of
You can't keep
what
up
I
with
was
it.
selling, I couldn't do it, and I was like, oh, I can't make things look as pretty now. I need to, like, you know, be one bam bam and precise, and make sure I get things right and stuff, rather than, you know, making things look pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still a nice touch, because I always think that little things count.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You know, the little touches of everything. Um, yeah.
So we'll ask some of the questions. So what I'll do, guys, in the chat, I'm going to read out what you've said, so people who are listening back will know what the question is. So Daisy Grain says, "Is it a good idea to run lots of giveaways, even though they cost quite a lot?" So if you didn't see my video on Instagram, I've shared a way of making it cheaper. So there is, to do it as a large letter, there is a little video on my Instagram about that. But what do you find with giveaways, Charles? What's your view on that?
I forget to do them, to be fair. Because I get so engrossed in what I'm doing, and I enjoy it, and the passion, and you like talking and stuff like that. And I think, oh, I'll do a giveaway. I do them sometimes, more than often, but I mean, there's some people like yourself and stuff that do them like continuously. But I think for me personally, even if the postage was smaller, it's not feasible for me to do it all the time. Even though I love people to get like a little surprise and free postage. Like, who doesn't love free postage? But I tend to spend, because I get it myself as well, and it takes a lot for me to source. I tend to spend quite a bit of money on my buyers giveaway.
Yeah, exactly. So your buyers are the kind of draw, aren't they?
You know, from a loyalty of the people, you know, that are there. But still, even if you can't buy, you know, that day, or you're just there to watch, because I do that, you know, just watch and chat, like, get involved. And I do followers giveaways. I just forget.
Yeah.
Because I just, like, so
Yeah.
I do have them all loaded up. I have about like 20 sometimes loaded up in the thing. So if I have a raid and stuff, I'll do
Exactly.
it.
I was
Because,
going to
you
say
know, that's
raids.
important.
Raids is important to do it after. Um, Daisy's followed it up with, do you think it increases sales? I think you could look at it both ways. I send out numerous, obviously, I do loads and loads. And the reason I do loads is my nerves, 100%. My anxiety is, oh, I can keep people in if I do this giveaway. And I'm starting to not do that so much now. But the amount of buyers giveaways I send out with no buy is like, I sent out 24 yesterday, and there's no purchases from them, which is fine because that's part of it. But I do agree. I think concentrating on a good buyers is a really good approach of that.
Sorry to interrupt, but I think you've got to think of it like financially as well. Like if there's like say these 24 people that have done, got their things. To me, I'm a small person, like basically I struggle slightly, and to add that extra cost onto what I already spend is a lot of money for me, and it's a big deduction.
Yeah, often
So
it does add up, doesn't
I
it?
try to do as many as I can, because I want people to get bargains. I want people to be engaged and be there. But just it doesn't have to be a giveaway. You don't have to buy anything, but just watch the show, learn
Yeah,
some
just
stuff,
watch, tap the screen.
talk and tap the screen, and yeah, it doesn't have to. You don't have to buy anything or. Yeah, and then just to add as well that I don't know if I should add this really, but I did get I got a complaint and like a report because I didn't send a giveaway, a followers giveaway in
I've been quite
and
I've been quite open about this. It happens all the time, and I think that is something that I feel that if you're getting a free giveaway, you shouldn't be able to make a bad review or a complaint about it because it is a free item.
I mean, I didn't get a review. It got like reported and then whatnot wrote to me about it. And generally, like I do put them in, I never not send, and I've probably just forgotten. Like I have a lot, and I'm doing them like at 3 a.m. sometimes. And what I do is with my parcels, I set them aside, and I think, right, these all need giveaways, and then I'll just pop them in whatever it is that I'm doing. And I just forgot, and I just it's human error, isn't it?
Well, you just forget.
It's
like just
easy,
happens.
but for me, I would overthink that because I like things to be the best.
Yeah, well, I think we're so passionate about, because we do hand picking. We're going to go on to hand picking in a little bit, but I think we take such pride in our items that we do get like there's an emotional attachment to the selling. We want it to go right. We want it to be perfect. I've just seen that. I'm just going to go through some of the questions before we talk about handpicking. So Ravenna has said toy category is almost forgotten now. I would love to be able to put a little input on this. That is why, Sarah, we need people like you to come on to this as well. I'd love to get some toy sellers on to discuss that, and hopefully we can get that on in a few weeks, because obviously Whatnot is renowned for its cards. That's how it started. And it'd be interesting to see other sides. So Sarah, if you'd like to come on.
Sorry to interrupt as well. From all different angles, like whether you're selling women's clothes, men's clothes, cards, whatever you're selling, we should be all like advertising each other. And
100%.
If that's Ravenna's niche as well to do toys, there is a market out there for it, and you should do it again.
Yeah.
And it's just about being consistent and advertising and showing, and don't let them forget you.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
Don't let them forget you. Be like, I'm here. Look at my stuff. Like, this is amazing. You're not going to get this anywhere else. And, people will see. Don't let it put you off.
Canal has said you both have such loyal followings, and I think I speak about that in my one as well, and I think I mentioned it last week. A lot of the questions, guys, please do go back and look at the other videos because we have discussed it as well. But obviously it'd be interesting to get everybody's view on it. But loyal followings for us, I think, is important. I don't know if you, Charles, we have the same buyers, quite like return buyers, and that is probably like 60% of the business is return buyers, and I think that's really important. I don't know if that's the same for you, that you feel like return buyers is really key.
It is, but also new buyers are really key as well. So
yeah, 100%.
like,
but
new buyers all the time. Like sometimes I get quite a lot, sometimes you get an influx of a small amount or a large amount, and you know, that first impression of you on a new person as well, will, you know, they could buy you for that first time being on the app first time. They were like, wow, this is good. Like, I'm going to come back.
Yeah,
And then you're building them regular people all the time.
100%. Yeah,
You're
yeah,
following the people that are there, even if they don't purchase, because never any pressure to purchase. And
yeah. Um, Shot with Bliss said, I find it's to do with how many people are in the room. I do think that's a pull, isn't it? When you see, let's be, that we like be honest, if you see a live and there's like 200 people in that live, you want to, that is a draw for you to go in. But I really think I've spoken about this before. I wish I couldn't see the numbers of how many people are in because I overthink it. I get nervous. It then affects my performance, so to speak. Um, what do you feel about numbers? Like, are they important
um,
to you? How many people are in?
it does, like you said, it does affect me, like when they drop and go up and down, and which they will because people are flittering around
Oh
them
yeah, of course, yeah,
at different times and stuff. And it does sit and you think, oh, you get a bit like in yourself, like, oh, it's dropping. Is it something that I'm doing or whatever? But I think sometimes it's not always important because sometimes I've had the most amazing show and only had 30 people in my show, you know, and it doesn't have to, you don't have to
yeah,
have like 200 in there. And sometimes I've had a show where I've had 100 in and the show's not gone too well. Like, you're gonna
yeah,
get shows that are good and bad. You get to take the rough with the smooth with this,
100%.
so it's not
Yeah.
always gonna be good. I don't know if that.
Charlotte has said, I think the bottom people like me get overlooked. I think we can say that for all of us, and that's what me and Chelsea were saying. It's important to go into everyone's lives, support each other. There's room for us all. Go in and support them. Don't push your boundaries a little bit with who you're buying from, and look at their reviews. That's why the reviews are there, and that is why reviews are so important, guys. Please do. If you have a good package, give us a review. It really does help.
I also think that the smaller sellers, like, there's some little gems, you know, that I have some really nice stuff
100%.
to offer
Yeah.
that I've so missed. And you should take a look in them and have a look. And I always go in people, especially if we've got first shows and stuff, and I'm always quite supportive and, you know, if they need any help. But these, you should always float in the little shows as well, because
100%.
I've seen
Yeah.
some, like, you know, really nice people as well. Just, and there's some people who have stuff like me and you, Kate, you know, and
Exactly.
they get
Yeah, I know.
overlooked.
Like, look at for
Oh,
example, I'll give a little shout out if someone wants to tag her, like Sue and Maddie Bella. She's
yeah,
beautiful
she's got
brands.
some amazing.
Beautiful brands. Evie, beautiful
Yeah,
brands. And it's I think just about saying there is room for us all and shouting people out. Like, if I get chance, I will shout these smaller businesses out.
yeah,
Um and you're the same, Chelsea. I've heard you do it on your shows. You do that
yeah.
quite
And then you've
often.
got Charlotte as well,
Yeah.
who does stuff, and then you've got Selma as well, who
Your
does
Selma,
hair.
yeah.
And then there's other. There's, I think, I don't know if she's here now, but I always think you know, you do very well, but I think you get overlooked and you shouldn't. So everyone should go and follow her now. It's Bryony.
Oh
Um,
yes, definitely, Bryony.
she
Yeah.
has some really amazing stuff as well, and people do get missed, but that's why you should just float in everybody's shows,
Just
and
yeah,
you
and
know.
like even when you're on the app, you can swipe up and you'll just go into the next show. And sometimes that's a really good way of not cherry picking and just going through and being like, oh, okay, this person's on
I'm
now.
sorry
And
if I've missed anybody, but everybody
no,
has
yeah, I know. I
niche.
feel like that. We
Everybody has the niche as well. So if you
yeah,
want certain
exactly.
things, there's different places that you can go. You know, there's I've seen some amazing people on.
Yeah. So the discount
Yeah.
herb has said it's I think it how much you interact with the chat as well massively influences it. Really does. I agree with that. Stacey said you Lawson's thrift shop has said you're doing amazing, Chelsea. The amount you've grown is brilliant.
Okay.
Emma agrees with interaction, and then Tamla says I'm thinking of joining Whatnot to start selling, but it's finding out where to start so then I can work around my kids. If you need a code for joining Whatnot, message a seller and we can give you kind of fast track code. You get a little something, we get a little something then, and like being completely transparent about it, that helps um with that. And that's the same with most businesses. But if you are looking to just ask questions as well, Chelsea. I don't know if you're like me. I'm happy to answer questions if people message me.
Yeah, just inbox me. I have people that ask me all the time. And
Yeah.
I tend to answer people right. I'm quite a busy person, but I tend to answer people back right away because I don't like to seem ignorant. So I do answer back pretty much right away. And if I can't,
I'm rubbish at answering back. You're much better than me.
I'm rubbish at answering back things like that. But when it's to do with this and my business and stuff, like I think it's crucial that you get back to people in
I think
a
it is
certain
as
time.
well.
So that.
And even if you don't know the answer right away, to say, I've had your message, I'll get back to you when I can, to do that initial contact, I think is important.
Yeah,
So
and if you can't answer the question, it's like, be honest, and it just, that's me anyway. I just think it's important that you get back to people.
So,
critical.
Brian and Betty say, Chelsea, are you a full-time reseller?
No, because not really, because I can't at the moment because of my commitments to my children, and I didn't want to dive into my personal life, but because I have like my own health issues, like with mental health, so some days can be a bit of a struggle for me, even though I might not look it, but some days can be. So I'd love to do it full time, and I wish that I could do more. Do you know what I mean? And I really strive to do more, and then it just eats me up that I can't. But I can only do what I can do, and I don't want to like kill myself off or anything.
No, I think what we'll do is I'll run through the questions and then we'll talk about handpicking and then kind of impact on health and mental health. I think it's important to talk about that, Chelsea, if you're happy to.
Yeah.
Obviously. Michaela has said your buyer's gifts are amazing, Chelsea. Snazzy Hanger said, Tamla, if you're being you'll attract the right audience that will help you with confidence as well. Like Chelsea says, you're just speaking to yourself. Remember that. You were in control, and I said this last week. You were in control. At any point you want to end that stream and it's too much for you, end the stream. It doesn't matter. You can just say, sorry guys, I'm not feeling it right now. I've done it in the past. It's too much for me right now. I'm gonna go. I run my buyer's appreciation and I go. And it doesn't really, it doesn't really impact anything, and it's self-preservation at the end of the day. Jessica says, do you sell on here or other platforms too? Is it better to focus on one, or do you have stock in different places?
So for me personally, I used to sell on quite a can we say it on here?
We can say it, yeah, it's fine.
Right, so I used to sell on Vinted, eBay, and Depop. But I've used to do very well on Vinted. And then I wanted to do other things, but then I'd get overwhelmed with ideas and all the different things, and then obviously Whatnot as well. So I used to, but now I tend to just do Whatnot because it's easy to focus on one thing for me, and I like things to be quick. I haven't got the storage, I haven't got the space to hold things, to have them hanging around. I just want to make a quick,
it's in and out, isn't it, really?
And I enjoy the
live selling. I don't know if you're like me, because we handpick as well. I get so excited over good pieces. I want to put them on Whatnot.
Yeah.
So I don't sell on any other platform because I can't. I just can't. The stock levels, if you're like me, Chelsea, you don't drive either, do you? So you're like me. We can only source when we can source, and what we get is really we need to put on Whatnot. And like you said, I don't really have the space to be storing things for ages. Annie said, I've had a few never arrive, never once left a bad review, always grateful and always try to buy if I win, or about giveaways, yeah. What do you think, Chelsea? Pre-list or pull better? Daisy Green has asked.
I've done a bit of both, Anna. And I do, from the beginning, I used to do pulls, and I used to say, oh, it works better for me, and pulls and all that. And as I've progressed, I think pre-listing's better. You do better, people can see what you've got.
Easier packing.
Easier packing. You can see the item, the description. You can say, like, Joe Blogs has got, you can see the dress they've bought, on the picture and the description. You can just go like this off your rail. When I do like other shows, when it's numbers, it's like, oh, like I could have done the number wrong, or I have to look up video receipts. And for me personally, like with the shipping, it was easier. And I think my shows are better because you can show people what you've got.
Yeah, and I
Um,
think because you do
you know,
you don't do it every single day, you preload in advance, and it's great then because people can go in and pre-bid and they can look at the items and get a feel for what kind of things are
just
going to
to
be in the
jump in
show.
there with that as well, I think that sometimes it's good if you do less is more, I think.
Hmm.
So I like to build my show up for that kind of show on a Sunday, if you've watched me on a Sunday. And I like to, I build it up throughout the week, and I build like a really good, like solid listing, and it takes me all week to source it, find it. Like it's really hard. I'm like a hawk, like a look
Yeah,
through
yeah.
everything, And I think it's important. It's good to be consistent, but I always think sometimes if you do too many shows, you the consistency with people buying and what's
And
not there as much because people are like, oh well, she's
it's
been
not so much urgency
on.
then, is it's not creating
Yeah,
that
because
like
people look forward and think, oh yeah,
yeah.
like Kate's on a Thursday night at 8 o'clock. Like, yeah, I'm gonna look at a pre-list. Like, there's certain people that I watch, like Charlotte,
Hmm.
on a Saturday morning.
Saturday
And I
morning.
know that she pre-lists as well, so I'll be like, right, she's on there. I'm gonna have a look what she's got. Or Twice Bletchley does it. I love Tuesdays because as well is my day because I watch Twice Bletchley, which is Kerry. If you're not following her, and she's got all the
And happy
pre-lists
birthday,
as
Carrie.
well.
Happy 40th
Oh,
birthday.
happy birthday, Kerry! um, and Top Clobber as well.
Yeah,
They
top
sort of
clobber, but
thing.
yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, they're on a Sunday. Like, oh, let's see what they've got. And
Yeah.
it's exciting, and you save your money up. And then Selma does it as well. Selvi sells. She does all pre-listing.
Yeah.
Me personally, I think it's better. It depends what you want from your show as well.
Yeah. So Lucky Cat Pre-Loved has said, I know you have done some themed shows, Chelsea. How did you find them? I've just scheduled in 8 to see how it goes. Denim, Largan Look, etc.
So the theme shows, I've done all different ones. I'm doing it as a trial really to see like what people like. I kind of know like when I get things, I kind of know like there's like what people like. I don't know if you think that, Kate. Like you,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, someone's gonna like this on my show, or this is, kind of pick. So I've been getting like different stock and stuff, to because I want to be able to have something for everybody. So whether it be somebody who likes maybe doesn't, can't afford or doesn't want to buy, designer or whatever, they might want to buy high street or sportswear, or they might be like quirky tees, or they're a bit alternative and they like if I see something that's cool and it's like a gothic or a rock chick tee,
Yeah, like the
I'm
alt
like, yeah,
kind of.
I'm getting that. You want it for everybody, don't you? Really?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
but it is some theme shows go really well and others don't, but it's
yeah.
just
I
about
think it's just,
finding what people want.
and it's just, I honestly, I've said this in the other videos. If you're new to this today, guys, go on my YouTube. The other ones are there, but it. I can't make rhyme or reason out of why things work and whatnot all the time. Sometimes something will fly and then sometimes it doesn't. And I'm like, I can't really work out. And I think it's all to do with who's in at that time. You can't guarantee who's going to be in the show. So, like you said, having something for everyone is really important, I think, because you're covering all bases then.
Yeah.
Do you find trolls put you off sometimes? This is from Wendu. When on a live, I've stopped selling for now because of trolls.
Um. No, I
Not
think
any.
because
They did at the beginning, not now.
they they did. I had one person who said something quite offensive to me, and it was something that I used to get really like anxious about when I was a kid. Um, and that got to me. I was like, oh God,
Yeah, I
like,
remember that.
but
Yeah.
really, like, I don't. Yeah, I've had some rude comments. I've had people inbox me as well. Say all sorts of.
Mm.
I've had people sexually harass me as well. That sounds awful, doesn't it? But like with really awful comments and putting it on I had to have one of my reviews changed as well because it was like a sexual innuendo review. But do you know what? you just got to think. I just pretend that they're not there. I think I'm a
Yeah.
bit thickened because I used to work. I used to be an A&E nurse, and I
Oh,
used
you
to
have
get
to put, yeah.
everything. Everything used to call me, hit me, spit at me, names and everything. I used to deal with all sorts of people, and I kind of like, even though things will bother me, but I just kind of
You
like,
just carry on.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just ignore them. And all you've got to have an important thing for trolls as well is make sure that you have a mod.
Yeah.
Like
Even
make
if
sure
you're
you
not
have
expecting
somebody.
them to put the sizes or whatever, just there to kick them out
Yeah, just to
is,
look through the chat and they can just be there as reassurance and just kick them out so that they're not
yeah.
affecting you, so that they're nips in the bud then.
And I think as a mod, if you, like, I always look to see if I think anyone's going to go that way, and I'll watch them. And then as soon as I feel they stepped out of line, I kick them out. And I think what I do as well, if they say something in my chat, I just don't read it out. I just carry on and
That's what
ignore.
I do now. I
Yeah.
see it and then I just think, yeah, whatever. And
Yeah.
normally, like on my last show, I think I had one, and Sell Resells and Charlotte was my mods, and I just left them to deal with it
Yeah.
basically
You just
because
leave them do
I
it.
just
There's not,
thought, yeah, they'll deal
yeah.
with it. Let me carry on with my show because they're just not ruining what I'm doing.
So Daisy Grain has asked, timings seem really tricky as the times where people aren't traditionally working, all the big names are out. What's your thoughts? So I don't know if you remember, Chelsea, we used to be able to just schedule a show and no one else would be on, but it didn't mean we made more money. And that is the truth of it. I think it doesn't matter who you're up against because people do flip through. And like we said, there's room for everyone. Um, Obviously you're going to make a bit of a decision, like for example me, you and Christy the other night were overlapping, but we managed to make it so we all had an hour between each other. And I think it's just about working together as sellers to say like, right, okay, do you mind if I come on this time? And like Christy asked me to swap so she could go on later, and it's just about being friendly like that, but don't let it put you off. I mean, look, um we're dead stock are on right now. They have over 200 people in the chat. We still have 61 people here today. I don't think it is, don't let that eat you up. If you've picked a time and you want to be consistent with that time, go for it. Like Chelsea, you always do Sunday mornings, and I think even if someone else started doing them now, you'd still do that. Because I used to, do you remember I used to do the 10 o'clock slot every Sunday morning? I would do the 10 o'clock slot.
I can't
And
remember what times you did.
and yeah, it was like that. And then I just stopped doing it. And then you naturally fell into that, the 7 o'clock slot, which is insane. The amount of people you have on a 7 o'clock always shocks me. I've got to
I have
be
a lot.
like,
I have a lot of
because
international people as
do
well,
you?
from the USA, from Germany, from
Oh,
Netherlands,
that's really
from France.
interesting.
I've had quite a lot of I get a lot of international parcels on that one. Um, I do. The only reason
Oh,
why I did that one is because it was childcare again, and I thought
yeah,
I need to do so many shows. When can I do it? I had no time, and I thought, sure, what I'm gonna do it when the kids are like in bed basically, and they've got someone to look after. Let's try this. Let's see what's going on because people are up, on a
yeah.
Sunday. They
I had
can't
my
do
first
stuff.
Netherlands buyer the other day, but I didn't even think about that because what works for us won't work for them. So it's interesting.
Yeah, because of the time difference you
Yeah.
see as well.
So Jacqueline has said, when you're a new buyer, you can feel left out, especially if sellers have favourites. I always try to, whenever anybody does a new order, I don't know if you're like me, Chelsea, as soon as it comes up first time buyer, thank you for your first time purchase. Thank you for purchasing from me. And giving them a shout out for being a new buyer, I think is important. And thanking people for their bids is important as well, I think. Like saying, whenever anybody wins, like for example, if Sue wins, I'm always like, oh, thanks, Sue. It's nice to have that kind of acknowledgement. I don't know if you agree, Chels.
Yeah, I do. But sometimes, I'll be honest, I can't say people's handles, so then I don't say the name. So I'm like, oh God, how do I say that handle? Yeah, thanks. I go like this.
Yeah,
Thanks for purchasing. I'm like
thanks.
crying in my head for like seconds, thinking, yeah,
I
I'm
do
gonna
enjoy
try
on your
and say
shows, and
that.
sometimes I can
And
see
then
you going like,
there's certain people who if I don't mean to, but I always do. And if it's a new purchase, I always do that as well because it shows up on our thing that it is. And I'll
yeah,
go, oh, and I always say, welcome to my stream, because it might be the first time they've ever entered, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Like,
yeah.
I'm always I'm grateful for everybody that joins. I'm surprised the amount of people that do join me.
Yeah.
It's like,
So
oh.
I know, but can you imagine if all these people were stood in front of you though? You'd be like, um, do you still get nervous? Snazzy Hanger asks, going on lives after you've done so many, or does it settle down if you're consistent? I still get nervous.
No,
Not as bad as I did, but
I just got nervous pressing the button then. It's just, I don't know if you get it, it's like anticipation of like, you know, are people, I get this thing like, people gonna like what I've got, people gonna like my show,
yeah.
is everything right? And then it takes me like a minute, like, oh no, I'm gonna go live, no, I'm not gonna go live. And I do get nervous, and then you are a bit like, oh, and then once you get into it, you're fine. I
Yeah,
think
once you're on,
it
you're on.
just always happens every show for me.
Oh, hi, Wagpack. The Discount Hub says our most profitable show, we never went above 25 viewers. I think you could have 200 plus people in and only have 10 buyers. Quality over quantity. Yeah, we've said that before, haven't we? I just find it hard. Jade says, because Bailey goes, hang on. Okay, so Emma says, I think there is an opening for sellers on late nights because I've seen some sell stuff that wouldn't go in the day and they sell all items early AM. Charlotte says she loves you.
Oh,
Uh,
love you too.
Sarah says your brill Chelsea threads and your clothes are amazing. Granny Tattoo says, I'm thinking about reselling on here. Do you make anything in the beginning or are you just building the followers? How do you price things? So I'm going to say this again. We said this last week, and I think Chelsea might back us up on that. You need to do your research on items. If you want to be able to be knowledgeable about it, you have to learn, watch YouTube videos, watch people reselling, learn brands, look into them. Like me and Chelsea have been quite honest that we've gone into like I know you do the same. I go into Selfridge's website and I look through all the brands and I find out, watch other people's streams, get information about what things sell for, and yeah, look on Vinted as well. Look through solds on Vinted and see what things went for.
Yeah.
We shouldn't push. Snazzy Hanger says we shouldn't push ourselves too much. We need to care for our own health first and foremost. Yeah. I agree. We'll get onto that now. Emma says, is it right? I always say your name wrong, Emma. Is it?
I can't say Emma's thing.
Is it
If it's
Adayame? Adayame? Adayama? I'm sorry. I have to phonetically say it, Emma. It's
a Dama vintage.
Adama, maybe. Yeah. It's actually really fun streaming on Whatnot. You forget you have an audience. Yeah, I agree. How many do you preload for a show, Chels? What do you think is the perfect number?
Just depends. I think I like to preload as much as I can,
The bangers.
but I always think I don't like to pre-list too much because it can become overwhelming to look at.
I think about 20, really. I think
about 50.
50, yeah. You
And
do longer shows than me, though, don't you? So,
50
like, I think, yeah.
Hi. A 50 and randoms is key as well as an element of surprise, because I always think that, you know, they might look through my catalogue and think, oh, there's nothing there for me. And I said, but wait, there might be something on here in the random. So, you know, keeping people engaged, like there will be something for you. Hopefully. Yeah. That's all.
So Charlotte has said, I personally have learned a lot from Chelsea. She's been crucial in helping me improve my profile, and I notice all the positive progression. And Carrie seconds that from Twice Bletchley. Chelsea, I adore you. You don't realise how good you are, and you are smashing it. Jade says, I do a lot of random stuff I enjoy, but I can never upload it all. And that's the truth, isn't it? We can only do what we can do.
Oh, yeah. True. That's what it takes me all week to upload mine. I can't. When you say, oh, I'm going to pre-listen the night, I think, oh my God, how does she do that? Like, it takes me from basically, I do it. So I've been doing it as a rolling thing. So from Sunday, when I did my show, I'm already pre-listing for next Sunday. So I've already got stuff in there now.
Ready, yeah.
To look, but I've already got stuff in there now waiting, and I'll just add throughout the week, and it'll take me all week. Like I won't be able to do like a couple a week pre-listing like that. It's just too much, like you just said.
So Ross has said, when it comes to timings, he said it's a bit like reseller meetups. There's one the week before mine and one day the day before, but you just put it on and actually better if firm date. So yeah, I agree with Ross that if you got a firm date, it's better. Like for that, like like you do Sunday mornings, like you said, we know who's on.
Like
Shell Cell says,
in it.
yeah, how do you get around all the EU packaging and safety laws when sending to the EU? Whatnot do it all for us.
Yeah, we do
We
nothing.
basically print the label out and stick it on.
And they do nothing. We do nothing.
Yeah. She says, yes, I agree with that, but do you get rude sellers? There will be rude sellers, but I think on here we've got a majority of really nice community. I really
If you
do.
come across a rude seller, it's just about, again, customer. I've worked in customer service as well before, and it's just about being, polite basically
Yeah.
to them and
A
replying
damer,
back to
by the
them.
way, yeah.
Yeah, in a certain way, and if they're rude, they're rude. You're
Exactly,
gonna
yeah.
get people like that in every aspect, and it's just about how you deal with them.
So we'll do a few more questions and then we'll chat because we've nearly been an hour already.
I know, sorry.
No, it's not you. So Daisy said lunch break's over now. Thanks for all your help. Hopefully I can put it into practice on my first show Friday. Everyone give Daisy a little follow.
Good luck, Daisy.
Also, like we said, we will be recording this and it will be on Spotify and on YouTube. I don't know why my cat has had to join every stream I ever do. He has to be there. What brands did you underestimate but sells better than you thought?
I don't know how to answer that question because I know what brands sell and don't sell for me, but everything's different for everybody. So
Hi, Claire.
with certain brands, I don't pick them up because I know that they don't sell, even though they're very good.
Yeah. Again, would say, oh, thank you for the raid, Shaylee. Oh, you raided last week. Everyone go follow Shaylee. She does some really lovely vintage and antique jewelry. Yeah. As well, do you find, Chelsea, that things that sell well on eBay and Vinted don't sell so well here sometimes?
Yes, it's very different market, isn't it? So it just depends. Some things do surprise me. So I've had things in the past that have gone up like really high, and it tends to be more of a personal buy as well. So there are a lot of
Yes, yeah.
resellers as well on here. Like myself, I buy off people as well and look. But if it's personal buy, so it just all depends. I've sold like something from Primark for like 15 quid before.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
me too.
sold a River Island top for £22, like just a vest silky top.
Yeah.
And I was like taken back by it. And you should, it just depends who's there, what they want,
And trust
know,
styles. It's not always brands,
yeah,
styles and material and stuff like that do really well as well.
yeah. So with that, I'll just add this in now. I look at I watch catwalks, I look at the latest trends, I look at this is all the research that I do because I think, oh, that's on trend, so I can tell people about it. Because people want to be trendy, don't they?
Yeah.
And you're trying to promote pre-loved clothes sometimes, and you can
And
still be
sustainability.
yeah, and you can still bring stuff back from other eras that are coming back all the time. Like look at Y2K, how big that's got on certain levels, and
Wendy, I think that will always be the case on it. Plus size seems to be selling well. Let's be perfectly honest, like online buying does lean towards plus size better because it's hard to find stuff in the
very
shops.
hard.
It's really hard. And I don't know about you, Chelsea, as a reseller, I'm always on the lookout for lovely plus size pieces. But it's so difficult.
I do come across plus size stuff, and and this is me being frank. I don't want to pick crap up. Like, why should somebody who's plus size have to wear crap?
Exactly, yeah.
I
cold shoulders.
Why
are all plus size things got cold shoulders? Like,
yeah, it's just like I want to source out the best so that the plus size women and men can feel, like they can wear, some nice stuff as well and be on trend, and you shouldn't have to wear something that's
I agree.
Not what they want to wear.
So Caroline says, I started following an account on Insta called Are You Wearing in London? And I've learnt so much from there. Oh, I'll have a look at that.
Oh, I'll have a look.
And not M&S, 1985. Hi, Sam. Hi, Reselling Polly. Right, so what we'll do, thank you for the questions, guys. We'll do we'll probably be on another 15 minutes if you're all right, Chelsea, with
Yeah,
that.
fine.
What we'll talk about next, I think, is important. So, how physical and mental health impacts you as a reseller, especially doing live shows, I think is really important. I'm quite open about my physical issues and how that impacts me. My postage times are slower because I can only do what I'm able to do. But what do you think about the mental health side? I know you're an amazing advocate, Chelsea, for mental health, and I think it's important that you do bring it up because you do talk about it openly, and I think that's really important to just speak about it. And you never know what people are going through, guys. So if these sellers are slow, just send a message first and find out what's going on.
I'm quite a private person, but I'll divulge, but only to a certain limit,
Yeah.
Because especially on here, I want to be professional. I
Mm-hmm.
put my mask on to pretend that that I'm okay, but mental health is important because it's hard work. Like these shows are mentally and can be physically draining. Like after doing 2 shows on Sunday, I get seriously burnt out and quite ill Monday, Tuesday. Like you might not think it, but I do, and I get quite ill,
Yeah.
mentally because I'm just like, oh my god, like I am burnt out. Like,
And I feel like the shows are such highs sometimes, and
yeah,
then as soon
and
as it ends, it's like, oh,
yeah, no, I'm still on a high and can't go to sleep, and I'm very like, and I do, and it keeps me going. This as well. It's something for me, and it's something that I enjoy. And yeah, I have a lot of struggles with that, and I don't always like to be open about it, but I will be open about it. So I have got autism and ADHD as well, like fully diagnosed, and I've been like this since I was very young, and I really struggle in life, and I've struggled more since I've had the children, really badly. But this keeps me going, and I think it's important that you look after your mental health and take the breaks when you need the breaks. Because I've had a few breaks on here because I was like, right, no, for whatever reason, I've had a few breaks. I think I've had 3 like big breaks in
3,
my life,
yeah, because
and
I've had
come
about the
back
same, haven't I? Yeah.
because and I've still been present though as well on the app while I've not been well or whatever. But I think if you're ever feeling overwhelmed or feeling a certain way, always reach out to somebody and talk to somebody about it. And take a break. Like don't push yourself too much when it gets enough is enough. Like it's not worth like pushing yourself into the ground for it.
Yeah, no, 100%. Can we just acknowledge, Chelsea, that's huge that you've just said that on
Yeah.
here, and well done for saying it out loud because I know it's quite
I don't
difficult.
like saying it to be honest because I don't want to be like,
You're not asking
poorly.
for pity, are you? That's not what
Like,
it.
oh, she's got this and that, and I don't like, and I just get on with life as much as I can. And everybody has the struggles, don't they?
Yeah.
And I just plod on, but sometimes you can only plod on for so long, can't you? So,
Eva says, do you find your ASD might help you to find good brands? My daughter has ASD and she will hyper focus on things and she can tell you everything on on Penguin.
I don't know. I think I always tend to like, I know Charlotte says it and stuff like, I always find good stuff and I don't even mean to.
You didn't mean to put that, did you, Charlotte? Rewrite that, Charlotte.
Honestly, like I'm like a sniffer dog. A sniff, that's what she means. Like I
Yeah.
sniff everything out. Like
I
pick them
touch
up
every item.
and I
I'm like,
touch everything. I look
yeah,
at everything. As touching is a thing, so I'll go around and I'll touch them. There was a scarf last week what Teresa bought, and I was like, "You've got to buy this scarf!" Like, and I just couldn't stop touching it.
yeah.
But it helps you to feel the quality
Like
of
that dress you bought from me, the
yeah. Just
100% cashmere, is like,
you just
don't
know.
you?
Like you think, I just know this. I just know the feel. You just know the touch, and I'm all about tiny details. I notice
Hmm.
everything. You know, and sometimes I miss things, which is human, but I do notice everything. I think, and that helps with
Yeah.
that. I know a bit
I,
of a perfectionist.
yeah, you are. You are. Yeah, she is.
But
So
I'm
you
not very
know that if
organised
you,
at the same time. I'm most
yeah,
disorganised person in the world. So
I think most resellers are though. I wouldn't worry
yeah,
about
very messy.
that. I think that when you buy from Chelsea, guys, you can guarantee you're getting quality, and she will pick what is right. I'm a hand picker as well, and me and Chelsea have always been great advocates of hand picking, haven't we? I think I remember we used to be like, "Oh, we're in the hand pick crew," because we make sure we pick things. Um, and I think um, it's for me, I wouldn't do wholesale. I wouldn't. Now we talk about it last week and why people do it, and I think it's great that they do, but I don't know if you're like me, Chelsea. I wouldn't buy blind, not so much wholesale, but more like uh blind blind buying, I think, for bundles.
To be honest, I'll put my hands up. I have done it. I have done it in the past. And I still do things because I'm trying new things. You know, with some of the, but I do still pick out what I want.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I never, if I do go to a wholesaler, which I have done before, I say, if I can't handpick, then I don't want to buy off you.
Yeah.
You know, I like to see the items, and then if I have got it, I will sift through it, and I'll only sell, you know, what's good, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But
Yeah.
I
No.
won't get rid of it, you know, and then I'll sell it at any point. But hand picking is my main thing. But I will be honest that I have done it before, and it's all a learning curve.
It's a learning curve though, isn't it? You
Because
have to
you
try
just
it.
want, sometimes when you first start, you just want, when I first started, I did it, and you just want, oh, a big load of clothes, you know,
Yeah.
to start off
100%.
with. You want a bulk. That's all it is. Because hand picking bulk is, that'd be mega hard.
Yeah.
You'd have to source like all day, every day, like
Um,
literally to do that.
I was just about to mention his name. I don't think he's coming over here, but Kern Vintmix, for example, I can't wait to get him on because he does wholesale and it really works and he gets some amazing
Yeah, yeah,
pieces. But I think you have to be completely honest about the quality of the item, don't you? And I think
yeah.
because you are quite quality driven, it must be quite hard to make that
But
work.
then for him, like for everybody, we all do different things on the app. Oh,
109. We're dead stock. Thank you so much. I've run out of giveaways, guys. Let me do a quick put one in, Chelsea, if you just want to answer some questions, or um I've run out of giveaways
got what I was saying. What was I saying?
about wholesale. Well, the people you want
Yeah,
to speak
so
to about
about
wholesale is we're
wholesale.
dead
So
stock.
a wholesale, so everybody has their own niche of what works for them, and whatever, like I don't know, whatever I sell might not work for someone like Wear Dead Stock, or whatever, somebody who's, I don't know, like Frugal Fam, who sell what they sell. They're very successful in what they sell, and that's their niche, you know,
Yeah,
and they're doing very well. It's, you know, and everybody has their own thing of what they sell and how it does well. So it doesn't mean that wholesale and all this
is
is
wrong.
not,
No, no.
it's not a bad thing. Everybody's different. um it's just I like, my lives that I do, my shows work for me, and that's my niche of what
I
I
Yeah, I
like
don't
to
know
do.
if you're like me, Chelsea. I feel like sometimes you can't do it all as well. I have to think like I cannot do it all. Like I could pick up loads and loads of white stuff, and for example, this is just an example. I love white stuff, but I can't do like white stuff, Bowden, fat face, and do what I do. I need to find my niche and stick with it, and that's how I work.
Yeah, true. But at the minute with my theme shows, that's why I want to do something for everybody. So I'm just
Yeah,
like
100%.
testing it
Yeah,
out of what people want, and you know, but people, like you said, will have a niche and they'll come to you for them items, you
yes,
know.
yeah,
So if you want, like, you know, designer and high end stuff, or maybe come, you know, hand picked unique stuff or whatever, they'll come to us. If you want, like, I don't know, sportswear, you know, anything like brand new with tags and things, you could go to Wear Dead Stock. You could go to, if you want anything like the knowledge behind LPs as well, and they hand pick
100%. Yeah.
and do brand new. brand new stuff and it's high end. And then you've got like your beauty sellers, and if you want that, you know, everybody's different and everyone's got the
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like we said, if you are just joining us now, there is room for us all on this app, and I think supporting each other is really, really important. Do we have any questions for either of us, guys? Do you want to know anything? But yeah, Claire has said this will be on my YouTube, which is Good Golly Miss Holley Pre-Loved, and we will be tagging everyone in the socials as well, so you'll be able to follow Chelsea on all her socials. And yeah, I think I want to ask you, Chelsea, do you think having a Instagram following helps you on here?
No.
No, I agree.
No, it doesn't. I used to think that, and you say, "Oh, I ain't got a following," but it builds up as time goes on. I think when you build up, your followers go quickly in here because of how you sell as well. But I think people notice my name because it's the same on Instagram, and I've been getting a few followers from
Yeah.
here to there, and it just builds, and it doesn't matter. Like it's you're building on this app, not on Instagram's.
Yeah. So Jodes has asked what your Instagram is. It's Chelseasthreads, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And mine is Good Golly Miss Holley Vintage on Instagram. But if you type in Good Golly Miss Holley, please remember I have an E in my name. That is been a bug this week. Okay, Melissa says, only thing I don't like about Whatnot is I bought loads of items from a certain person and then never bothered to send it. I think they should get negative feedback. Report. Get that cancelled through Whatnot. Whatnot are really great at supporting buyers, I find. And I think that if you just need to report that and let them know.
And they're pretty good at getting back to you as well.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah. How long were you waiting? Did you get a refund? Yeah, so you should get a refund and got a refund, but other people should know. 100%, Melissa. I would let your friends know, really. I think it's important to just go through the right channels, though. Make sure you are going through Whatnot and reporting it. It's a family you had there. Yeah, so one thing, guys, I don't know if you know it, you cannot sell with your children on the screen. That is well, you can have your children on the screen, but they cannot be selling. It is against Whatnot rules, and I think a lot of people have found that they've had bans for this. Anybody under 18 should not be selling on the app. They shouldn't be participating in selling. They can pick the items for you if you want. I know your lovely daughter did that, Chelsea, and I loved that when she was like on the rail and she was picking her favorite bits.
But I saw.
Yeah, but it's not the children selling, so it's not allowed. That is one thing. I think if you look in the rules of Whatnot, it isn't allowed. So it's important to know that. Can I ask if you're all making a profit? I struggle to source items cheap enough to sell with the fees. Would you like to answer this one, Chelsea? And then I'll run the last giveaway and then we'll.
Yeah, so if I'm honest, sometimes you win some, you lose some. I think, especially on Whatnot, it's hard because you don't want to lose, do you? But I've took a lot of risk, and then the risk has worked eventually. I do try to source things as less as I can, but don't be afraid to pay up a little bit for things and start the price of what you want them for. I'd say personally for me, I'm not. I am making a bit of a profit, but I do pay up for my stuff as well. So I'm not like, I'm still at the beginning stages, really. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not like, fully sustainable with it, and it takes me a lot of research. Like
everything gets invested back for me as well. I don't know if you're the same. Like I'm not really taking anything out of it. It's all going back into the business.
Yeah,
to come
so
back round.
It tends to just go back, but then I have made, where sometimes it's not, but it does tend to just roll back in.
Yeah.
At the moment,
Do you look at items, profit per item, or do you look at profit overall?
So I'll do like a quick calculation of like one particular item. So it might be I'll look at it and you have to think of it quickly, don't you? Whether it's going to sell, how much it's going to sell for. I research it as well and think, oh, is this cheap? You know, should I buy this at this price? Do you know if you are paying up for it? Are you going to make a profit on it? Because you've got to think of your fees and stuff as well on top of whatnot. You might think, oh, I got this for, you know, £5 or something. I'm going to start it at this price and hope that it bids up, but then they deduct things off it. So you've got to take all that into account as well.
I think I do put things in shows that make a loss because they're a killer item and I want them in the show.
Well, like I've lost and I thought, you know what, I'm going to risk it. Let's see, because sometimes, you know, you're surprised and you're like, oh my God, like that went amazing. And then sometimes you're like, yeah, I just lost there. But then it weighs itself out on other items.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This is an interesting one. Tracy says, I have found lately that people are selling goods without saying the brand name. And when I got it, it was fake. Report, again, it is illegal to sell fakes in any capacity. Even if you call them dupes, it is illegal to sell fakes. Chelsea and I pride ourselves, and I know I'm speaking for you here, Chelsea, but I know you feel the same way. We pride ourselves on authenticating as much as we can, making sure we're not selling things that are fake. We've sent each other messages before, haven't we? Going like, what do you think about this? Do we think this is real? I get upset about this because I think it brings us down who are not selling fakes, you know, because it'll make people nervous about it. So just make sure you're reporting that purchase.
I mean, it's about doing your research into it as well, and you kind of know. And if you're unsure, it's about asking the right people.
Thank you, Discount Herb.
If it needed authenticating, but you know, there are times maybe when someone might have missed something as well.
Yeah, that's
you know, and it was a really good, you know, dupe or fake, and you're thinking, wow, you know, and these things can happen. But if they're not saying the brand, and they're not saying, that's just like it's a bit. It's not honest selling, is it?
No, I think just get to know you as well. I think it get to know your stuff, like you said, Chelsea. Learn about it. If you want to buy these high-end items, even like Nike and stuff, have a little look. I mean, Ross will vouch for me. I had some amazing Nike shoes last week that I bought, and they ended up to be fake, so I couldn't sell them. So I've made a loss on that item because of that. And but I wouldn't sell them on. I've donated them back because, you know, Claire Hetty and Flo says, I find fakes in charity shops and would love to just sell them on for a profit, but you can't. That's it. Yeah, 100%. Teresa says, do you both agree that your personalities have a huge impact on the items you're selling? 100% think that they do. You two have definitely got it. Oh, thank you, Teresa. I do think people buy from people. They do. You plugging yourself in.
There you go.
Do you agree with that, Chelsea? That people buy from people?
Say that again. Sorry, I was focusing on plugging myself in. I didn't want to like die.
Do you both agree that your personalities have a huge impact on the items you're selling? I 100% think that they do. You two have definitely got it. It's really nice of it to say.
I think it does, because me personally, like, it's about the person as well. It's not about just what they're selling. You know, if they're fun to watch, easy to watch, the knowledge that they might know, you know, you're more likely to watch them as well. They might have, you know, all the top.
Oh, thank you for the raid, Vint Mix. Sorry, I missed that.
Like brand new advertised, but this is going too far, like Gucci or something, but they might like be the worst people to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and you might think, oh, just go in there for bargains, but you're not going to engage with your people, right? You need to be yourself. That's the key, to be yourself. So, don't like how this is.
Vint Mix, I did do a little shout out for you a minute ago. Everyone go follow Vint Mix. I'm going to get Kern on here. But talking about personalities, this is a perfect example. I think Kern is one of the funniest people on this app, and I think he is a great showman, and that is a huge part of why I buy from him as well, you know, so I can use that as an example, that I feel that helps.
I've only just started watching Vint Mix in the morning, like when I randomly put him on. I just think
Oh, thank you for the other raid as well.
I've not bought off him yet, but I just think he's a really good watch as well. And if
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah,
buy off him for whatever reason, I think I've had no money whenever when I've
yeah.
not been able to buy. But him just being on in the background, and I think he's hilarious.
Yeah, he's so funny,
Yeah,
really funny. If you don't follow him, go and follow him. 100%. Castle Hill says 100% agree. If you are honest and knowledgeable, people will buy from you 100%. And Chelsea, you're a great example of this. You explain everything about it. You'll find out what collection it's from. You love the items as well.
and
What's the
finding out his
easiest?
friends as well.
Yeah.
It's
What's
true.
the easiest way to do the ship in as a reseller? On here, I find it really easy. You just print out the labels, whatnot, do it all for you. When you're listing an item, you can put the weight. Now, talking about this, Claire, Hetty and Flo, who's the mod down below there, uh, me and her will be doing a tips and tricks of whatnot, where we actually do how to list things, where you list them, what's the quickest way of doing it. And I don't know about you, Chelsea, but I'm learning things all the time.
Oh
And
yeah,
things change all the time.
quicker ways to list, quicker ways to send things, and that I'm learning all the time of how to organize to make things quicker and more efficient,
Yeah.
especially with shipping and stuff like that. Yeah.
Hi, Samaya. See you've popped in. Jackie says people buy from people they like and resonate with, trust, and have good vibes. 100%. I agree with that. Um, Tally says, "Hey, ladies, what are your thoughts on giving people an idea of a finish time, even if it's just rough, so buyers know when to expect givey?" So what people used to do is you can't do this anymore, can you? You can used to notify yourself of the giveaways, but they stopped doing that because of givey goblins. So they stopped doing that. But what you can do, and this is a little tip, I learned this from Vint It Up. Um, if you go onto your shop, and Chelsea, you give away a Coach bag, for example, you can make a fake listing that says Coach bag, and when you pin that, that'll notify everyone who's put the bell on it that you're going to run the buyers soon.
Oh, that's a good.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't.
yeah, and Jack also, which we're trying to work out a quicker way of doing. My husband's a bit of a nerd, as we know, a spreadsheet nerd. He has done a macro where we can just put the names in and it'll automatically tell everyone that the buyers is running. So we're working on getting that out at the minute,
Oh, that sounds.
which will be really good. So like you can tag them. But I do agree, Tally. Sometimes I think giving an idea of how long you'll be on is good, but sometimes we don't know. You don't know.
Sometimes you just go with the flow, and if like things are, for me as well, if things are going a certain way, I just carry on. Me.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I
like,
know. I get carried
and
away.
you're just like, well, things are going good. Like, let's just carry on. Like,
Yeah,
why
yeah,
not?
but doing that
I
little
get
fake
carried away.
listing is a
Yeah,
really good
yeah,
little
it's a good tip that actually I think. Like,
yeah. Do you think more people go on to buy, the less people will bother as the less chance of a bargain? No, I don't think so. I think it's like any auction site really, isn't it? You have your set price, and I think if you have your set price, then stick with that and don't go over it, you know? I don't know.
mm,
But I think the more buyers really, the more shows it all is. You could say yes, okay, shows with less people in, you'll get some bargains, but is that great for the seller as well? So it's like trying to work out really it swings and roundabouts, really, isn't it?
yeah.
Um, I would love to sell, but where do you find all the wholesalers? So um Taz, we don't do wholesale, but if you watch the video from last week, which will be uploaded today with BZR, or if someone tags him, Connor or Kern, who's VintMix, who has just hit us up, would probably say the same thing. You need to do your research. And Connor said last week, send emails, send contacts to those wholesalers. The worst they can say is no. But
And
we've all,
sorry to interrupt you,
no,
Kate.
it's all right.
But, I get a lot of messages. I don't know if you do, like, where do you get your stuff from and all this stuff. And I've not been directed by anybody. No one's told me anything. I've just done the most extensive research ever. I've looked through every nook and cranny. When I find something, like I've found that like in a needle in a haystack.
Yeah,
Sometimes you think, yes, I found it. Like when you find stuff, because like I said, I've done wholesalers before, and it's about
yeah,
finding a good one. Um, it's not really my kind of thing that I do all the time, but I have done it before, and it's just about, you've just got to put the work in. You've got to
Yeah.
research it. No one's going to hand it to you and say,
Yeah, there
this
is
is
no.
that. You've got to put that time and effort in, and that's one of the parts of being a reseller as well. Is it's not easy as just saying, "Oh, I'll just pick a couple of calls from this and we'll just sell it."
Yeah,
There's more to it. It's hard work.
it is a. It's you train yourself really, don't you? You create your own training for the job.
Yeah,
Um, and I think I learned by watching. My tips are watch other sellers on YouTube. Watch, like Chelsea says, look at catwalks. Look at trends. Find your niche. Little Pickles Treasures said a really good thing just then. There are wholesalers on the app as well, so just contact
yeah,
them.
yeah. Just look
Um,
through.
yeah, so a lot of time behind the scenes before we do all the shows, Little Pickles Treasure says. I think people forget it's a lot of work. It is. I agree
A
there.
lot. It's really exhausting as well. It took to me to, and I think for everybody to get our items, it's like just done. It's hard work. It's
Yeah.
great to get it.
Emma says definitely email wholesalers. I handpick from my local wholesaler because I formed a rapport. I've talked about rapport. I've talked about it with charity shops as well. Be honest, talk to them. You never know. Tally says, just a comment. I think it's great sellers chat with each other and change show times so followers can attend both shows if they choose. I think we talked about that earlier. I think it's about working together. We're all trying to do the same thing at the end of
And
the
I think
day.
also as well, sorry to go on. I know we've been on a while, but also to think about that sometimes, like, it's okay if you do go on
Yeah,
similar time and you do overlap, because life sometimes gets in the way. So for me, that weekend when we was like on before, it was like the only time that I could do, for
yeah,
childcare, and these things do happen. So don't like get upset that you're
yeah.
going to
Don't
step on
no.
anyone's toes. Life happens, and
And
sometimes
also,
you have
I'm
to
not gonna
change
get
the
upset
time.
if you
You know what
choose
I mean?
Chelsea over me. Like I'm not gonna get upset
So,
about that.
and you can float in between people
Yeah,
as well.
we
Like,
always say dual device.
yeah, get another device. Get three if you want, and
Yeah,
you can watch like loads
do
of
all the
different
screens.
people. And you can try all the giveaways and everything.
All right, we'll do two more. So Jackie says people who sell need to have an idea of the worth of an item. You need to be comfortable with the price. If someone wants it, they will pay the price. I agree with
Yeah.
that, and we've spoken about that. Um, BRC Pre-Loved says some charity shops love resellers. One near me gives me everything reduced prices. They know I buy so much and it helps them move stock. 100%. That happens with me as well. And at the end of the day, without resellers, charity shops would fail. And that is important to know because the amount of money, let's use the luxury pickers, for example. They last year, their purchases in a charity shop ended up at £50,000. That's £50,000 donated to charity at the end of the day.
Mm.
And honestly, you would be surprised how happy some charity shops are to work with them. Sorry if you can hear my cat
Oh,
yowling. But yeah, so thank you guys for today. Please give Chelsea a follow. When's your next show, Chelsea?
my next show is Friday. I think it's at 7 o'clock. So this time, it's a different show to what I normally do. So it's Friday. I'm doing a full-on everything Zara.
All right, yeah.
I'm doing a Zara show. And then I'm also doing brand new with tags, so everything that's brand new with tags. So it
Ooh,
might be like high
amazing.
street sportswear. This is my theme show that I'm trying out on Fridays, but I know it's quite busy as well with everything that's going on. But that is my next show, and
And
the
then
giveaway
Sundays?
the giveaway is a voucher, Nike voucher actually.
Amazing.
And then Sunday I'm on early in the morning. That tends to be my fast fire show. Everything starts. I've started it at £2 at the minute because I was losing a bit on the pound. But still, I have high end designer, kids, men's, women's clothes, accessories. You name it. Every week is different. And then Sunday, I've already started pre-listing. I've got some really nice stuff. I've got Stella McCartney. I've got Louis Vuitton this week. I've
I've
got
seen
some,
that gorgeous Gucci and you're buying it now as
I've
well.
got that Gucci's been there a little bit. I'm thinking I might do a bit of a reduction. I don't know yet, a secret reduction. Then I also like to do. I love mint velvet and stuff like that. All about the materials and things.
Yeah.
And the giveaway what I've done this weekend is a Ganni this weekend. So it's a Ganni little wallet.
Oh, lovely.
So
Well, I'm on tonight, guys,
bookmark.
at 7 o'clock. So please do go and bookmark that, and please bookmark the rest of these um Q&As. So I haven't really sorted who's next week. I think it might be Becky's Bazaar. I need to sort that out.
Oh
So
wow!
that
Did you get that parcel already? I only sent that.
oh,
Yes,
did you?
that is so quick. Sorry,
um
I just didn't.
some are really quick and some are really slow.
Yeah,
It's
I think
weird,
there's
isn't
like
it?
a collection, so it bypasses certain
Yeah.
things, and when you get a collection, it just goes straight there. But yeah, quicker.
But yeah, thank you guys. This has been great, and thanks, Chels.
Yeah, thanks for
If you
letting me
follow
chat off
Chelsea, yeah, no problem.
and
If
be
you
on.
follow Chelsea on Instagram, Chelsea's Threads, follow it on Whatnot as well, and please give me a follow too. This will be uploaded onto YouTube, and like Clara said, it will be on YouTube tonight, and Connor's will be on it today. It's just finished uploading now. And yeah, very exciting. So please do bookmark the rest of the shows, and I shall see you at 7 tonight. Thank you, Chels.
No, you're
Um,
welcome.
we'll see you soon. Let's do a little raid, which is important. Always raid. Who should we go over to? Shall we go over to Gill Vintage Wholesale? We were talking about that. We'll go there. Oh, thank you so much. Right. Thanks, guys. Bye,
Bye.
Charles. Well
Bye.
done. Bye.